What the fuck is this? Oh, is this a new intro from Drama Alert? Great. What is this?
Okay, today we're gonna take a trip down memory lane and relive one of the most insane episodes of Drama Alert ever released, while simultaneously talking about a controversy that I'd argue hasn't exactly been resolved. My name is Nicholas Diorio, and today, Keemstar has tasked me with breaking down an infamous story of a previously deleted lost episode of Drama Alert.
What's up, buddy? How you doing?
When modern YouTubers like Minilad, Lionmaker, or EDP445 enter the news, what is the first type of controversy that comes to mind?
Fist bump?
Of predatory stuff?
I don't fist bump people like you, man.
Well, if you guess something that will almost certainly get us a yellow $sign, then you're probably on the right track. In the last few years, creators from tons of different communities have been exposed for their disgusting behavior all across the space at varying degrees of severity. And for the most part, these usually lead to repercussions, accountability, and, well, a fall from grace in some capacity. Except none of that really happened to Kiwiz.
On March 27th of 2016, I interviewed the mother of an underage girl. I interviewed the girl and I interviewed Kiwiz at the time. They all admitted that Kiwiz was sending pics to a 14-year-old girl. It makes absolutely no sense. Kiwi was caught red-handed and admitted to it. If you look at that interview, you see—
How old is Kiwi? I mean, it doesn't really make it much better, but 24. Wait, so how long ago is this? Is obviously disgusting. 24. How old was he when
no sense. Sending pics.
This is 4 years ago. Yeah, it doesn't get better. Yeah. Wait, it's 5 years ago? What is he? 19? Yeah, that's still inappropriate. So we're talking about a 19-year-old and a 14-year-old? Yeah. When was he when he sent the picture? It's not good. I will say that I guess it's more forgivable than a 30-year-old. I know that sounds weird. I'm trying to figure out the exact—
Listen, if you don't—
We got a 5-year age range. Still gross. What's the context here, though? Is there more information? He was 19, she was 14. Is that okay? It's still gross. I guess if he owned it, I could see why people would move on. I wouldn't consume his content still, but I guess I could see why other people would move on from it.
To a 14-year-old girl. It makes absolutely no sense. Kiwi was caught red-handed and admitted to it. If you look at that interview, you see 36,000 likes and 10,000 dislikes. And if you read through the comments 4 years ago, people are on Kiwi's side.
When was this released? Yesterday? I'm looking through Kiwi's stuff. He hasn't he just posted 5 days ago. It looks like he posts 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, he doesn't post that often, so okay.
But Kiwiz is the one that got away.
You need to understand, dude, like, I'm just a teenager. I made a mistake. Like,
Now, did she?
Don't attack her and harass it. I'm just wondering, like, no, it's obviously gross. I'm not defending it. I'm just trying to contextualize it. It's still disgusting. Did he know they were 14 as well? I just want to know. The reason I'm asking these questions is it's hard to get accurate, real, good information from someone like Keemstar because he's very dishonest constantly. So I'm very apprehensive about it. Yeah, well, they weren't 12. I don't know why I said they're 12, but
Anything?
she did. She sent me things, and then right after
Who did it first? Who was the first one to make the first?
She did. And
Okay,
she sent me the pictures, and then she wanted me to send something of me to her, and I said, you know, I don't know, this is kind of weird, like, I don't know if I want to do that. I'm kind of uncomfortable with showing you myself, like, you know what I mean? Like, this is kind of weird. And she kept on telling me, dude, it's okay, I promise, there's nothing to worry about, like, you can trust me, like, 100%.
I don't like that. Hold on, let me listen to this.
The picture, right after teenager.
Kiwiz is the one that got away.
You need to understand, dude, like, I'm just a teenager. I made a mistake. Like,
Now, did she send you anything?
she did. She sent me things, and then right after
Who did it first? Who was the
she
first
did.
one to make the first?
She
picture?
did. And
Okay,
she
so-
sent me the pictures, and then she wanted me to send something of me to her, and I said, you know, I don't know, this is kind of weird. Like, I don't know if I want to do that. I'm kind of uncomfortable.
I don't like the suggestion. I don't like the suggestion that he got a 14-year-old convinced him to send pictures, because that's what he's trying to say. He's like, well, I didn't want to send it, but this 14-year-old girl that I'm 5 years older than wanted me to send the pictures. Like, dude, what? That's a ridiculous narrative.
Now, did she send you anything?
She did. She sent me things, and then right after
Who did it first? Who was the
she
first
did.
one to make the first?
She
picture?
did. And
Okay,
she
so-
sent me the pictures, and then she wanted me to send something of me to her, and I said, you know, I don't know, this is kind of weird. Like, I don't know if I want to do that. I'm kind of uncomfortable with showing you myself. Like, you know what I mean? Like, this is kind of weird. And she kept on telling me, dude, it's okay. I promise. There's
Oh,
nothing.
was she like, dude, bro, it's okay, dude? Like, is that how she was speaking to you? This is just very weird. This idea that a 14-year-old pressured a 19-year-old, I don't know. So that's obviously one of the biggest things for context, because we wouldn't instantly assume that a 19-year-old that had this interaction with a 14-year-old is a predator right off the bat. We would have to see if they knew the age. But based on the way that he's talking, where it's taking zero accountability, we're leaning towards the, like, you're losing any form of reasonable doubt. I like to approach topics giving what I would consider like a reasonable doubt kind of a thing. I give people the benefit of the doubt generally, but what is it? You're gonna blame a 14-year-old for oh, well, she made me do it. What? What are you, fucking dumb?
Nothing to worry about. Like, you can trust me, like 100%. Like, nothing bad's gonna happen. And here we fucking are. Like, you know what I mean? Like, don't trust these people. I swear to God.
Kiwi, this is bad.
Yeah, those 14-year-olds can be real spooky. I'm so scared. You can't trust any of these goddamn 14-year-olds with your dick anymore. It's fucking crazy. What a world do we live? Like, what the fuck? What are you saying? It's one of those things where I was like, yeah, Keemstar is really bad. So, you know, he constantly, after the Carson thing, I don't take what Keemstar says at face value. But because, you know, he deplatformed a 19-year-old for talking to a 17-year-old. After, you know, and what is he doing? 39 to sleep with 20-year-olds. But after, I mean, this is not negotiable at this point.
This is really bad, Kiwi.
Before we deep dive into this pit of YouTube degeneracy fused with the Jerry Springer Show, I think it's important that we establish the players.
Here it is.
Kiwiz, formerly Red Kiwiz, was a member of the Red Reserve, an esports organization where he spent his days hitting trick shots, or whatever.
Yo, her Insta
His justification is that she lied about her age. But she lied about being 14 at 12. He was 17 in the beginning, but he was just talking to her again at 19. Wait, okay. So if what I'm hearing is correct, is that when she was 12 and he was 17, okay. She said she was 14. It's 14, 17. I'm still not comfortable with, but this stuff is all so gross. What happened to beating your kids? I don't know. Anyway, I would say, okay, that's not a worst age gap. Does he know that she was 12 though, or did he know that? When did he find out she lied? Because if he thought she was 16 and 19, I don't like it, but it's not that bad, I guess. Okay. All right.
she's pretty good looking. And needless to say, I would Yo, Miss Alley Cat.
And then there was Nuda, who most of you know as the Chad Drama Alert replacement, and he was directly involved with this debate. He was with General, and he contributed next to nothing in this story.
Okay, yeah, Kiwi sent me this or this. You know, I'm not gonna have him send me pics. You know, I don't swing that way. I don't swing that way. I don't swing that way.
I'm only really telling you about this so you can better recognize the voice, and then he comes into play a bit later. Next up, there's Jerica, and her mother, who made an entire video about this situation that's currently lost to time. Jerica is the victim of Kiwiz, and we'll get to how she received that status in a few moments. In March of 2016, Kiwiz, Jerica, Jerica's mother, Nuda, and General all got on Drama Alert with Keemstar to have a panel-style debate with the goal of determining whether Red Kiwiz sent and exchanged explicit pictures with a minor. No, I'm not joking, and no, I'm not exaggerating. Most of this discussion that occurred briefly before this call
is there like what's interesting is I tried to Google what's going on with this guy and I couldn't find anything. Which it's weird that it's scrubbed from the internet. That's very bizarre.
all has been purged from the internet, with the exception of some video from 5 years ago that happened to archive Keemstar's tweets. In these tweets, we see pretty clearly that Keemstar was inviting Kiwiz on Drama Alert after alerting him in private that Jerrica's mother was threatening to drop an exposed video on him. Other YouTubers, presumably new to In General, got Keemstar in touch with the mom and Jerrica, which is how this story broke in the first place. Lastly, Keemstar claimed to have before and after screenshots of Kiwiz unfollowing some girls on Twitter, but it appears those are all.
We watched your friend. Wait, is that real? So this dude also unfollowed a bunch of girls? That makes it even worse.
Also lost time.
If that's verifiable. Again, it's Keemstar, so it's hard to 100% believe everything he says.
In this interaction, the video was released by Keemstar, and it contains quite possibly the greatest intro to a Drama Alert I've ever witnessed in my time on YouTube.
What is up, Drama Alert Nation? I'm your host, Killer Keemstar. Let's get right into the news. Today on the show, we have an interview. Red Kiwi has been accused of sending pictures to a 14-year-old girl. On the line, we have Sword General, we have Red Kiwi, and we also have the mother of the alleged victim.
I think that most of us can agree that a debate between Kiwiz and the victim's mother is the most unhinged way to handle a serious allegation in the history of YouTube. However, it all went surprisingly well, and Kiwiz actually managed to admit to everything and bury himself in the process.
We met when I was 17. She claimed she was 14, but I guess she lied, apparently. She must have been 13 at the time. Can you clarify? A year and a half ago, was she 13?
Well, a year and a half ago, she probably would have been 12 and a half.
It's just, I was
that face, that face from Keemstar actually gave me a little chuckle.
17 at the time, and I understand she was 14 or 13, however old she was.
Wait, this doesn't really add up.
17 at the time.
Been 12 and a half.
It's just, I was 17 at the time, and I understand she was 14 or 13.
Okay, so he's killing his own story. Okay, so his best narrative would have been like, oh, she was 17, I was 17, she was 14, and I was like, okay. And so when you were 19, you thought she was 16, I'd say, okay, I think you're gross, but I don't think you're a predator or something like that, or some kind of a pedophile. But then we move on to but she might have been 13. And it's like, okay, it's getting worse for you. So now you thought she was 13 when you were 17? So she lied about being a year older? I don't know.
However old she was.
Wait, there's if you were 17, wouldn't that make her 12?
No.
Oh God, this conversation is so bad.
She said she was having personal issues, and we just talked for a while. And, one thing led to another. She started complimenting me. I complimented her.
The fuck is Keemstar doing?
Being a teenager.
What Kiwiz is trying to say is it's one of those, she felt really depressed, so one thing led to another, and I sent her a picture of myself.
Well, is there a place to watch the whole thing? Is that a thing that's still there? Because I feel like that would be a good conversation to watch. She removed the episode, I'm assuming. I would rather get exactly. I would rather get the exact video. Rather than
Gentlemen,
getting the speculation. Is this him?
my name is Keemstar. I am the host person back weeks ago, Claire Kiwiz.
She sent pictures.
Okay, I think I got it here. I just want to watch this instead. This is a re-upload. Because I want to get exactly what he has to say.
Start with the mother of the alleged victim first. What exactly do you know about this situation and what has happened so far?
Okay, so far, I know that she sent pictures to him. He sent pictures back to her. He professed his love for her and said how beautiful she is. And really, I mean, he's been dragging this on for probably about a year. And she is only 14 years old. And he's 19.
Now,
and
Kiwi, is this
And
true?
I just turned 19. I've known Jerica.
I like the language. I just turned 19. It's okay. Relax. I just turned. What is she? 14. Just turned 19.
Probably for about a year and a half. We met when I was 17. She claimed she was 14, but I guess she lied. Apparently, she must have been 13 at the time. Can you clarify? A year and a half ago, was she 13?
Well, a year and a half ago, she probably would have been 12 and a half.
She said she was 14 when I talked to her.
Okay.
You must be wrong then.
Yeah, she's 14 now.
No, yeah, I understand that. I'm saying, like, when we first talked, I said I was 17 and she said she was 14. And it was nothing but friendly conversation for the first like 4 months. We were just kind of like, "Hey, what's up? How are you? What's good?" And she said that she watches my videos, and I said that's awesome and I appreciate the support. And, that's awesome. So, time went on, and she would message me a lot, and I just wouldn't communicate with her as much. And one day she messaged me. She said she really wanted to talk. She said she was having issues, and I felt bad because I always ignored her. So I said, "Hey, how are you? What's up?" And
So this is where it gets. There's just so much at play here. I honestly, it's so disgusting. So here's one of the things: is I think it's very inappropriate to engage. I mean, there's so much here because obviously she's underage. She's a fan. I don't think that I'm not somebody who says you can't date a fan. However, I think that it should be a red flag if a young person that's a fan of your content comes to you and says that I'm having issues at home. If people do that to me, I ignore them because it's not a good conversation to engage. You're not somebody's therapist that you don't even know. And it's not good to allow like a 14-year-old kid or any kid to, profess their mental stress, trauma shit on you. And it sucks because like you want to help, I get it, but it's just an inappropriate thing to be in that position.
We talked. She said she was having personal issues, and we just talked for a while.
Yeah, then if you want to, you just say, "Hey, go tell your mom." What do you want me to tell you? Well, go tell your mom. It's just not good. It's just not good.
And one thing led to another. She started complimenting me. I complimented her.
See, this makes it worse too. So it makes it additionally worse that you just talked to this girl about some kind of a trauma in her life or some kind of a stress in her life, and then somehow it shifted to like a sexual conversation. So there's always like a risk of an issue there.
Being a teenager, it's just, I was 17 at the time, and I understand she was 14 or 13, however old she was.
I don't like that. That's one of the things I don't like. It's like he says he made a hard claim that she said she was 14, and now all of a sudden, it's like, well, but she might have 13 though. So now it doesn't even seem like, it seems like he always knew the age. It makes it always inappropriate. If it was, it doesn't seem like he's not holding firm. Oh, she was 14. Maybe she was 13. I don't remember. You don't remember. It's just getting worse and worse. The only thing, yeah, no, it just keeps getting worse and worse. Yeah.
Wait, there's, if you were 17, wouldn't that make her 12?
No.
A year and a half ago, she would have been 12.
Okay, well, I was 17, and she said she was 14. Like, if you guys can look back in the kick messages, like, I hear you have police involved, like, you guys will be able to see.
Let's get to that part.
I guess that would make it verifiable. I don't like the app Kick. Kick was like for Snapchat before Snapchat,
In the video that you uploaded today, mother of the alleged victim, you said that you've contacted the police. Is there a police report? What exactly is going on with this?
There is. We filed a report, and they're contacting Homeland Security to look into to see what they'd be able to charge him with. because they're just a little bit uncertain. We come from a small town, and they're looking into it. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, you know, internet laws are very far behind, so they probably couldn't do really anything about this. I think that the most important thing that I need to know right now is, when did he find out her real age? Because if he was 17 and he thought she was 14, I still find it disgusting. But I could give it, I wouldn't necessarily give it a pass, but I was like, okay, a 3-year age range, it's obviously gross. I think the biggest problem is that, this is from talking to Mama Gut. She's like, she asked this question, when we talk about these age gaps, she's like, well, was it somebody in school, or was it somebody that they don't know? Right? So it's like, okay, if an 18-year-old and a 14-year-old date, it's still gross. We really need to change these age of consent things. 16-year-olds shouldn't be dating anybody older than 18, but then it's like, well, if they're in school, I get it more because they're in that environment. But when it's online, like, what's your relation? And it's like, okay, these become very like fucking ridiculous. I hate these types of scenarios. They're obviously disgusting. But when did he find out she was actually the age she was? Because didn't this happen at 19, or did the story break at 19? And it happened when he was 17.
That's what they said. And with it being Easter weekend, not a lot got done this weekend, so they told us we'd have to wait till next week.
Now, Kiwi, this all sounds like really serious. Like, what are you thinking? Like, I mean, are you sorry?
I truly...
Are you...
No, am I sorry? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Of course I'm sorry. Like, obviously, like this is something. If Jerica would have expressed that she was very uncomfortable, and I watched the video, you said that she felt guilty, she felt like she didn't want to, she never like explained that to me, and I would never like make somebody do something they didn't want to do. I even told her that, and when the first time it happened, when we were getting a little bit more flirty with each other, whatever, she did send me pictures, but she asked me to send her pictures, and I told her I felt really uncomfortable because, of who I am. And
your best defense is, at this point, is like, I was 17, I thought she was 14, I fucked up, that's really my bad, and then you just take the beating on the internet. You know what I mean? Like, that's your best argument. But now we're getting into like, oh well, she really this 12-year-old girl made me send her pictures. It's like, oh, okay. Wow, like if you told me that a 12-year-old had a knife and you were 17, and that you like, and I would still say, like, who cares? Like, you shouldn't punch you push them over and grab the knife. They're a child. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Just everything. I felt really uncomfortable doing that, and she said that she could trust me, or I could trust her, and that nothing would happen. And I believe that.
I find it bizarre, though. See, this is something that I'm focusing on. Why? So if you were 17 and you felt that they were 14, why are you so uncomfortable with the picture sending? Now, maybe it's because you knew she was 12. Maybe it's because you knew that even a 17 and 14-year-old shouldn't be talking to each other. I don't know what it is. But why? What was it that was bothered? Why were you feeling apprehensive? What made you feel so apprehensive about sending the picture? That's something that I'm worried about. Why? If you knew it was uncomfortable, why did you still send the picture?
I could trust her, so it was a mistake. Being a teenager is kind of like a heat of the moment. Everybody makes mistakes. And I do want to apologize to the mother, by the way.
This is just glossing over it. You can't just gloss over it. It's like he's giving the defense that somebody defending him would give. Like, everybody makes mistakes. Everybody, it's like a Kesha song. Everybody has those days. It's like, okay, I don't know. Again, you say, I thought that she was older. I fucked up. Like, I should have never done it. Because that's one of those things where this is a situation where you need to take full accountability and then just try to move on. That's the only way that I think that you could be so, like, forgiven, is if you're like, yeah, I really fucked up. Like, I thought they were 14. I really fucked up. I really, really fucked up. That's really the best thing that you could say. It was in Hannah Montana. I got the wrong name, but you get what I was saying. But this is already bad.
For the inconvenience and any harm that Jerica has.
Sorry for the inconvenience? What does that mean? What are you, the cashier, and like checking the mom out, and you like fucking dropped her milk? This is not the same energy. I'm sorry for the inconvenience. Who told you to say that? I don't understand.
I know that I'm not the only one.
What I want to know is, did your mom, like, if let's say this happened to me, my mom would come over my house and beat the fuck out of me with a spoon. Did your mom do that? Who did you talk to before this apology? This is terrible. To whom it may concern, I'm sorry for the inconvenience. Sincerely, Kiwi.
There has been other people, like I have proof of other people. Jerica still talks to them to this day.
Wait. Are you saying that?
I'm just really
Okay.
why I'm not trying to blame her at all. I'm just.
He just said that he has proof that this girl's talking to other people. So now the narrative is that she's a whore. So now a 14-year-old, now a 12-year-old girl is just a prostitute, and so that's okay. There's so much focus on trying to blame her. Well, she likes talking to older guys, so it's okay that I did. It's like, dude, what is your fucking problem, dude? Jesus Christ.
Just saying, I'm
No,
really
no,
confused.
no,
why I'm
let me-
the only one involved,
No,
you
I'm
know,
not saying
like-
that you're trying to blame her, but
Well, I am.
Can we clarify this? You're saying that other YouTubers, other people that are above the age of 18 or older, have been sending graphic pictures to Jerica?
Yes.
Okay, I don't know anything about that, and she admitted sending pictures to you, but there hasn't been anybody else, she said.
It doesn't even matter if it's true. It's a way for him to deflect. It's a way for him to just deflect and say, like, oh, well, and put, because what is the point of saying that? Why would you even say that, right? Why would you say that except for to say, well, she's kind of a whore. She kind of likes the attention. That's what he's trying to say subtextually.
We can talk more about it if you want. Like,
Well,
what the fuck is this notification?
and also I'd
I'm
like
willing
to
to clear
talk
anything.
about all the other girls that
I'm
you're
assuming this is a re-upload. I'm assuming that's what it is.
sending pictures to.
Yeah,
I mean, it's not just
yeah, we
blue.
have Sword General here, and basically, this was all brought to my attention through him and Nuda. Basically, they're friends with Jerica, and Jerica came to them looking for help.
I'm gonna play this
and
a
they
little
came
fast.
to me looking for help. And this is after, a police report. The police were already contacted. This is after
What is
all
this?
this. And basically, General and Nuda have told me that there are a lot of other girls that are underage that you've kind of had these Snapchat sending nude pictures back and forth relationships with. Is that true? Are there any other girls?
No, I cannot think of any girl online that I've met that has.
Online.
I haven't.
No.
Online. Specifically online. Okay. What does that mean? Offline?
Oh, General, what's your take on this? Because you're here.
So Nuda came to me obviously asking for advice because my family's been in law enforcement and whatnot before, and Nuda is the
Just says fucking hitting the dab. Yeah, my dad was in law enforcement before. I feel like you could have chose a more serious picture for this Keemstar. You got to picture this guy fucking dabbing. What are you doing?
one that has told me about it, so I think he would be the best one to answer this.
Okay, so I went to General, and I was like, okay, dude, she came out to me, she told this to me, I don't know what to do, I don't normally do stuff like this, like I don't know.
Why was that girl talking to this guy though? Where that kind of was she talking to him as well? Isn't he also to blame? How old is Nuda? Because why would she be talking to him?
Normally like go to the police and stuff, I just leave stuff alone, but
Same age, I believe, 23. Kiwiz also 23 now. 24. Much better.
General told me to talk to the mom, and I talked to Jerica's mom, and Jerica's mom was adamant about going to the police, and I was like, okay, that you do that, and she has had a lack of experiencing with this too, so she put me in a call with Jerica, and she wanted me there for pretty much moral support because Jerica was obviously terrified to talk to the police.
Right.
So,
I understand all this, but are there other girls?
Yeah. Now, other girls, when I was asking for advice, because I asked General and I asked a few other people, and I was like, okay, what do I do? I don't want to, publicly go out and just, end Kiwi. That's not my goal. Kiwi and I friends for, 3 years? I mean, it's not like I'm trying to, throw this dude in prison.
Right, but are there other girls?
Yeah, and other girls were saying, they could be doing this for attention or whatever, but they're saying...
Who are they? Can you say who they are? Like,
that's private, but I'm I don't want to say that to 1.3 million people, but what I'm saying is other people have gone and said, okay, yeah, Kiwi sent me this or this. I'm not going to have them send me dick pics. I'm not swing that way. I'm not trying to see your shit, dude. I'm not throwing shots at you. I'm just saying, girls have said this. Now, they could be doing it for attention. They could be doing it for whatever God knows reason because you have 170,000 subscribers. I get that, but I'm just saying, other girls have said that
They could be doing it for attention. Interesting. That's what he said.
you did.
okay, well, I would like to know who they are, in private. I want to know who they are because I genuinely don't. I can't think of any girls.
Kiwi, do you know how serious this is? Because I mean, basically, she sent you child porn. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I don't have it. Like, I never saved any of it. Like, it's not on my phone. Like,
And then you sent graphic like pictures to a child, you know?
yeah, she asked for them, and it was a one-time thing, being a horny teenager with hormones, like being stupid.
Okay, you said it's a one-time thing, Kiwi. How long was this ago?
The old boys will be boys. Well, hey, you know, hey, I'm sorry I sexually exploited a child. Boys will be boys. Come on, dude. They said the girl and Nuda were friends. Were they real life friends? Because it's weird that they would be friends.
Probably, like, I was 17 when I sent 2 pictures.
Like what? Because she would be 12, and at the time he would have been 16.
Over the app kick. That's what the app is. And I sent 2 pictures, and after that we didn't really talk after that because I felt really bad. Because
Okay, so
it was just weird.
You sent pictures when you were 17 and she was 12. Now, I believe she said that
She said she was 14.
I believe
And the kick logs will prove it. Like, if you guys can get it. Like,
Okay,
it's there,
but she
like,
said she was 14 or whatever. But
It
she
was
was
a month ago.
Yeah, and a month ago on Snapchat, yes.
Okay, so a month ago you sent her a picture.
Yes.
But the problem with that is you're 19 and she's 14 at the time.
But the thing, like, I was in a really, like, depressed.
Wait, okay, this is very important. This is gonna be a very important part. So, okay, this is where we were at. He was 17 and she was 12. Now, she said she was 14. So, since I believe the law protects him, as disgusting as it is, you would generally say, like, okay. Well, I guess the law doesn't protect him because he'd have to know her. I think he doesn't get to just say that's what she said. I don't know. But I would say, okay, I wouldn't dogpile you on it. I still think it's so disgusting. But now we move forward 2 years. So now he's 19 and he thinks she's 15. Right? But my big question is when did he find out that they were no longer, when they were 2 years younger than they said that they were? Because if he thought she was 14 when he was 17, okay, but move forward when you're 19, do you still think that she's only 15? Or did she come clean at this point? So that's a big important focal point in this part. Is did you know the actual age at this point or not?
But the thing, like,
You're 19 and she's 14 at the time.
but the thing, like, I was in a really, like, depressed. But the
problem with that is you're 19 and she's 14 at the time.
But the thing, like, I was in a really, like, depressed state. Like, she was talking to me, like, she kept on saying how she was saying how she was so attached to me, and I was saying, and she said how she wanted to meet up, and I said that's really weird. I don't want to meet up. Like, that's something you can't bank on. Like, that's just really weird. I don't want to do that. And she's claimed that she wants to meet up with other people. There's another person in red that she talks to that she wanted to meet.
Okay, so the first thing that you would say is, I thought she was 16, right? If you still thought that they were 16, the first thing that you would say is, I thought she was 16. Wouldn't that be your first response? Oh, I was 19. I thought she was 16. But that's not the first thing he says. The first thing he says is, I'm depressed. So I think a reasonable assumption is that he knew by this point. Now, I can't confirm that. But at this point, I believe, and I could be wrong because it's speculation, but I think it's a reasonable assumption to make that he knew her age at this point, and he still thought it was okay. So this is where it gets even worse. This is a really big issue. It seems like he knew. That's just my speculation. But it's, I was depressed. You being depressed isn't a reason to do something. It's not a reason to sleep with somebody, what, 6 years younger than you? 5 years, I think. I believe he knew. I could be wrong, but
Meet up with specifically, and we can talk more about that in private. She does talk to a lot more people than just
who
me.
cares?
And I want you guys to understand.
Oh,
like,
this is so gross. He's blaming her. He's calling her. He's saying that she's too loose, so it's okay or something. He's just trying to discredit the victim.
This is a mistake. This isn't something that, like, if anybody out there is thinking about sending pictures or whatever, don't.
And now, if anybody's out there thinking about sending pictures, don't do it. So now what he's doing, he's turning himself into the victim, and he's trying to be some kind of a point of, like, he's trying to say, well, I'll just learn from my example. Yeah, no.
Like, it's not worth it. It's just pointless. It's something. It may seem like an idea at the time, like if you're feeling like it's not appropriate. Dude. You shouldn't do it. And I apologize to the mother. I apologize to Jerica. I own up to my mistakes.
For any inconvenience, you're not owning your mistakes, dude. Owning your mistakes said, I thought that she was 14 when I was 17. I fucked up. Because even that's gross. But I fucked up. I fucked up really bad. That would have been owning your mistake. Because there's nothing else to say. I fucked up really bad. But we've had, like, oh, well, I was depressed, and she talks to other guys, so it's okay. It's like, Jesus Christ.
Actions were childish. I've seen so many people on Twitter get exposed like for making the same mistake. Like I've seen girls, I've seen guys, and it's so stupid. So if you guys are thinking about doing that, just don't do it, please. Like save yourself.
This is about you.
Like it's so funny.
Save yourself the hassle. Oh my god, bro, save yourself the hassle. Don't. Dude, the fact that he calls this scenario a hassle. This is what I'm talking about. This is ridiculous.
All right. Excuse me. This is the mom. Can Jerica speak now?
Yeah, of course.
Because she has something she needs to say.
That's fine.
So you're talking about being depressed, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well,
so I had something going on in my life around the time that happened.
I did too, and me being upset, and I told you about some things about me being possibly bipolar. Are you just like gaining that from like something that I said earlier, or are you really depressed?
No, like I'm not depressed now, but I had something going on in my life at the time that was really hard on me, and I just needed to talk to somebody. I don't know. It was just being stupid. But yeah, no, you did have a lot of personal issues, and I always talk to you about them, and you were happy to talk to me about them, and that's really all it was supposed to be about. And then one thing led to another. Both of us being teenagers and being stupid. It's really dumb.
Well, now it's both of them are dumb, not just him.
And it's not like,
but that's one of those things that gets into a really tricky spot. It's like, okay, so you let somebody confide in you emotionally, and then this is another big question. How did this is the kid. How did it go from a conversation about how she thinks she might have some kind of a mental a mental illness? What would you call it? I don't know. How did it go from that to sex? What happened? Because I think that's very important to go. What was he like? Oh, you're depressed? Well, I got a pill for you. You know what I'm saying? How did it get there? What happened? What was the segue? I think that's very important. Because moving the age aside, if she expressed like a very real issue, like mental health issue to you, and she was feeling very, frustrated and depressed in some capacity, and you use that as a way to move in on her sexually, well, that just makes you even more disgusting. So that's also very important. The fuck? Fucking mother's crazy. Good timing, Ma.
I'm friggin' 30 talking to like 10-year-old, like these people like Line Maker going out there like doing some crazy stuff. Like I would not call myself a pedophile. I would not call myself like a sex offender or anything. Like this is Jerica.
Yeah, but Kiwi, I don't know if you know how serious this is. Like you literally could have to like if it goes through the legal course and they find you guilty.
I wouldn't call myself a pedophile. I mean, listen, I don't know if I would either. But it doesn't make the situation justifiable. That's the thing. It doesn't make it justifiable. Just because you may not be attracted to... Well, you definitely were attracted to this child. But, I mean, you really shouldn't be the person putting these... Like, throwing these prescriptions out here.
See, I mean, I'm just guessing based on everything that I'm hearing here. You could be registered as a sex offender.
True.
I understand. But like I said, it's just being stupid. Being a teenager, it's being dumb. Like I said...
The downplaying is really fucking it up. Honestly, from a legal perspective, probably should have never done any of this. About any of this.
If there's anybody out there thinking about doing this, or just you're in a relationship with somebody and you're 18 and she's 15 or whatever, just it's not worth it.
That what is
thinking about doing this, or just you're in a relationship with somebody.
Okay, so I find it really weird that he said that if you're 18 and 15, you're in a relationship with somebody, not to do stuff like this. I don't know why he conflated his interaction with this young girl to a relationship with somebody. That's why. Why did you feel the need? Like, oh my god. Okay. Sorry, the mother. Why did you feel the need to conflate your relationship with this young girl to an actual relationship to somebody in a relationship? You know what I mean? Relationship. Why did you compare your interaction with this young girl to a relationship with an 18 and a 15-year-old? I feel like, why did you say that? Did you try to develop a relationship? What was this more than just a one-off shot? I don't understand why you drew the comparison.
And you're 18 and she's 15 or whatever. Just it's not worth it, dude.
Okay, Jerica, did you have anything else that you want to say?
Yes, I would actually. You keep saying, well, at least I'm not like a line maker when I'm 30 and the other person's 10. Well, that's still a problem because you're 18 and I'm a minor, so don't act
but you,
like...
Jerica, you constantly would tell me that age is not an issue. I would tell you age is kind of weird. Like, it's kind of weird. And you
I know,
say,
but the problem is Kiwi is like...
That just made it worse!
It would tell me that age is not an issue. I would tell you age is kind of weird. Like, it's kind of weird.
That makes it worse! That makes it so much worse! Okay, so... Okay. The narrative here is, hey, I was 17 and I thought she was 14, right? Now, your best argument is like, oh, you're ignorant and think that that's okay for some reason, which is still disgusting, but I wouldn't label you some kind of a predator. But then he goes on to express that he thought that the age was a problem. So if you thought that the age is a problem, if you knew, because that age is a problem regardless, if you knew the age was a problem, and you expressed that the age was a problem, then how could you, what did this young girl manipulate you into doing, age is just a number, you are still the older person in this situation. You are now the adult because you did this when you were 19. So this really feels like his whole defense is, I knew it was really inappropriate, but she made me do it. At the time he's 19, I believe that he knew that she was only 14. He has expressed that he thought the age was a problem, which is a big deal, right? That's a big deal from a moral perspective. If you're just dumb, I'll give you more of a pass than if you actively know what you're doing is wrong, right? So he knew that the age was wrong. No, when he was 19. When he was 19, he did it again. That's what they had just expressed. He sent pictures again when he was 19. Sorry, I didn't mean to come off aggressive towards you. You just tried to correct me. I was just being... So when he was 19, he thought the age was weird, and he still went along with it. Where's your defense? Where's your defense? There's nothing left. That ratted on yourself. Like, listen.
And the other person's 10. Well, that's still a problem because you're 18 and I'm a minor, so don't act
but you,
like...
Jerica, you constantly would tell me that age is not an issue. I would tell you age is kind of weird. Like, it's kind of weird. And you
I know,
say,
but the problem is Kiwi is like one...
I really wish Keemstar would have let him fit. Like, I'm not criticizing Keemstar from like being a bad person at this point because, you know, he seems fine at this era in his life. But if he should have let him keep talking. Because this guy is self-incriminating. This is one of those things. This is something that I've learned. Is a lot of times when you go after like predatory people, manipulative people, you have to let them. They'll explain why they're wrong. It's a very common thing for liars to over-explain. If Keemstar didn't cut him off there, then it would have been much better overall. It would have been much better because he was digging himself a hole.
Person's an adult and they have to know better, and it doesn't matter what the kid says.
I know. I understand.
Me if I was being an issue.
And also with the pictures, you had to have known she was younger. I'm sorry. I mean, when this started a year and a half ago.
I truly believe she was 15. Like, she looks 15.
That doesn't make any sense. Hold on.
I'm sorry. I mean, when this started a year and a half ago.
I truly believe she was 15. Like, she looks 15 to me.
But I mean, if she's sending you...
No, that kills it more. Wait, makes it even worse. Okay, so what's the narrative being the whole time? Hey, I was 17 and she was 14. Then I did this again when I was 19 and she was 16. There was no point where they would have engaged where they were 15. Right? So how does your argument, I thought she was 15. What do you mean? You said that she was either 14 when you were 17 or 16 when you were 19. Where did the number 15 come from? Did you misspeak, or was this you just trying to slowly gaslight us and increase the age to make it seem like it wasn't as inappropriate as it was? His story is so inconsistent.
Graphic pictures when she's 12. I mean, you should be able to figure out.
There's no way.
Yeah, that she's not.
She wasn't 12. She was 13. She said she was 14.
This doesn't make. Oh, she wasn't 12. She was actually 13, and she said she was 14. Well, did you know she was 13? This is getting really ridiculous.
Lied.
I think that was the part where they said 15, 19? No, it wasn't the part where they said 15 and 19. He thought that she was 3 years younger than him. Right? So 17 and 14. He always consistently thought that she was 3 years younger than him. So it wouldn't make sense for like a 19 and a 15. I don't know. Maybe I'm overanalyzing that point.
I did not lie, you idiot.
Jerica, you did.
Jonathan, I didn't.
Jerica, I swear to God you did. You lied. You know you did.
I know I didn't. You're just trying to defend yourself in the most stupid way possible.
I swear to God.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to leave it here.
Okay, he's leaving it there. All right, I just wanted to watch that ourselves. It's better to get our interpretation. It's better to get the interpretation. Now, she claims she never even lied about the age. I don't know if that's true or not. If that's true, that fucking destroys this guy. That absolutely destroys it. He says that there's proof in the Kicks messages. I don't know if it's true or not. I still feel it's disgusting, but I wanted to get the full context down for this because I thought it was super important to do that. to make sure that we know what we're dealing with here. We don't want just like their interpretation of the events. We want the actual events. So
kind of conversations that no normal person has. Just to establish the ages in a clear and concise manner, when Kiwiz was 17 years old and still a minor himself, he messaged and exchanged pictures with a 12-year-old. He claimed that she lied about her age and that she was actually 14, making the ages sound a little better, maybe? Later in the call, he disputed—
Like how apprehensive he is to say that they're a little better. Like, it would be more protected, yes. It would be socially better. It doesn't make it good, but it gives him enough to be like, okay, you did make a mistake. It's disgusting, but you fucked up. But it gets worse as time goes on, because it's a reasonable assumption to make that he knew that she was, what, 14 when he was 19 or whatever, or 13, what is it? Was it? Yeah, 14 when he was, yeah, okay.
disputes the fact that she was 12 by arguing her body looked 15.
And also with the pictures, you had to have known she was younger. I'm sorry. No. I mean, when this started a year and a half ago.
I truly believe she was 15. Like, she looks 15.
No, but see, that's not arguing the body's older. Listen to what he says.
Started a year and a half ago.
I truly believe she was 15. Like,
he says, I totally believe she was 15. So he thought that she was 15 at this point. So was he referring to when he was 17 or when he was 19? Maybe he was referring to when he was 19. Is that the argument that's trying to be made here? But wouldn't she be 16 at that point because of the age?
Like, she looks 15 to me.
But that makes her 5.5 years younger than him, I think. No, he didn't. Okay, listen to what he says again.
Known she was younger. I'm sorry. No. I mean, when this started a year and a half ago.
I truly believe she was 15. Like, she looks 15.
So the mom said, like, oh, her body looks younger. And then he said, I totally believed she was 15. Then he says she looked 15. Those are two different statements. So he might have slipped, but it makes it it's a better, more reasonable assumption to make that he thought she was 15 at this point. That's his argument. But he originally said that he thought she was 14. So something's just not adding up.
To me.
Ew. Oh, that's gross.
But I mean, if she's sending you graphic pictures when she's 12, I mean, you should be able to figure out.
There's no way.
Yeah. That she's not.
She wasn't 12. She was 13.
What does he mean by looked 15?
I just don't understand. She wasn't 12. She was 13. But she said she was 14.
I don't know, dude. But anyways, if we discuss this in the most charitable light possible and take Kiwiz's word that Jerica lied about her age, the situation's still pretty gray, because at best it's a minor and a minor. Legally, that still could mean trouble, but this was a major reason people began to defend Kiwiz.
It was a month ago.
Yeah, and a month ago on Snapchat, yes.
Okay, so a month ago you sent her a picture.
Yes.
But the problem with that is you're 19 and she's 14 at the time.
But the thing, like, I was in a really, like, depressed state.
We watched
like,
some of this, so
she was talking to me, faster. Like, she kept on saying how she...
Like we said when we watched it, his first response should be, well, I thought she was 16. But that wasn't. So it suggests to me that he knew what her real age was at that point, which makes it disgusting.
She was saying how she was so attached to me, and I was saying, and
that makes it worse. So did I not catch that? That makes it even worse. Well, I was depressed and she was attached to me. That's not good. Now you have some kind of a parasocial relationship going on.
Said how she wanted to meet up, and I said that's really weird.
Okay, never mind. Now it's no longer gray. It's actually very black and white. Kiwiz exchanged pictures with a 14 or 15-year-old when he was 19. This is not only unacceptable, but it's illegal. Around this point, Jerica then joins the call and buries Kiwiz even more, specifically attacking the mental health card he just pulled.
So, you're talking about being depressed, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well,
so I had something going on in my life.
I'm only going to fast forward because we watched the full video, so like we have most of the context
for
that.
Time that happened.
I did too, and me being upset, and I told you about some things about me being possibly bipolar. Are you just like gaining that from like something that I said earlier, or are you really?
I think that what she's trying to say is, hey, I don't think that you actually had a problem. I think that you were just saying that you had a problem because I said I had a problem. Which opens up a new potential that he was just saying that he was depressed to get her to send nudes, potentially. She might have said, hey, I'm feeling mentally stressed. And this is a lot of speculation. And then he might have been like, yeah, me too. And then he might have used it as a manipulation tactic to get inappropriate pictures. Now, that's obviously a speculation. But I think it's important.
Depressed.
No, like, I'm not depressed now, but I had something going on in my life at the time that was really, really hard on me. And I just needed to talk to somebody.
Oh, was it really hard on you? What was it though? I feel like you have to be honest about everything.
I don't know.
Did your mom die or something?
It was just being stupid. But yeah, no, you did have a lot of personal issues, and I always talk to you about them, and you were happy to talk to me about them, and that's really all it was supposed to be about. And then one thing led to another. Both of us being teenagers and being stupid. It's really dumb.
Now, Kiwi, this all sounds like really serious. Like, what are you thinking? Like, I mean, are you sorry?
Truly,
are you...
No, am I sorry? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Of course I'm sorry. Like, obviously, like this is something. If Jericho would have expressed that she was very uncomfortable and
Sir, this is a Wendy's and she is 12 years old.
That's still a problem because you're 18 and I'm a minor, so don't act
But you,
like...
Jericho, you constantly would tell me that age is not an issue. I would tell you age is kind of weird. Like, it's kind of weird.
We're talking about that. Oh, that's one of the most incriminating things is that if his argument is, I thought the age was really bad, but I let a child convince me it was okay. If you thought the age was bad, you don't get to change and be like, well, she said it wasn't so bad. Like, what do you think that? What is the argument there? To me, it suggests that she never lied about her age.
Weird. And you
I know,
say,
but the problem is, Kiwi, is like one person's an adult and they have to know better, and it doesn't matter what the kid says. That's
I know. I understand
blocked
that,
me if I was being an issue.
He also kept repeating this clearly pre-written line, which makes the whole thing come off insanely corny.
I've seen so many people on Twitter get exposed like for making the same mistake. Like I've seen girls, I've seen guys, and it's so stupid. So if you guys are thinking about doing that, just don't do it.
Dog, this sounds like something a boxer would say after they got caught doping and doing steroids. Your situation is not over, sir. You don't get to reflect on it. You're a creep, and this isn't a teachable moment for anyone. Following this Drama Alert interview, he issued a statement saying that everything was said that needed to be said, which was apparently a lie, because in the same tweet, he announced a damage control video. On top of the beating he received on Drama Alert, he also went on Scarce. I guess there was more stuff that needed to be said, but oh god, he got pulverized again.
It was like a heat of the moment type thing, dude. She was telling me, dude, you can trust me.
Is that my thing? Oh, it is.
Flash frame game.
Oh, thank you. I'm gonna save that for later, only because
It's okay, I promise. And then like I do it, I was really uncomfortable, and after I did it, it happened, whatever. I was 17, dumb mistake, and literally, I didn't talk to her after that. I was really uncomfortable. We didn't talk for a long time.
But you guys did this recently, right? Like when you were 19, correct?
Around a month ago, yes, because she Snapchats me every single day.
Dude, why do you still have her on Snapchat if you were so uncomfortable? It doesn't make sense. Why were you on Snapchat if you were so uncomfortable? This is another thing. So the original narrative is I talked to her. Wait, this doesn't make any sense. Hold on. This is getting worse. He said that this is fucking hard. This guy's a scumbag. He originally said that it was on Kick. So why did you even have her Snapchat in the first place? Doesn't even make sense. So you did this on Kick. You said it was a one-time thing. So then why did you have her on Snapchat if it made it so weird? So he actively added her for the Snapchat afterwards. And then he felt comfortable still, but he didn't block them. They messaged her every day. Well, I'm going to make a reasonable assumption that there was reciprocation. You probably messaged back to her. So you kept the relationship going on Snapchat, even though it started on Kick. Dude, this guy's a fucking idiot.
She messages me every single day, and I always ignore her.
I know why he tried to avoid the fact that he exchanged pictures with Jerica as a legal adult, but I'm perplexed how he thought Scarce wouldn't call him on it again. I mean, this is basically the same clip. How many times was he gonna get clapped like this?
Okay, but she said she was 14 or whatever, but
it was a month ago.
Yeah, and a month ago on Snapchat, yes. I didn't talk to her after that. I was really uncomfortable. We didn't talk for a long time.
But you guys did this recently, right? Like when you were 19, correct?
Around a month ago, yes.
After releasing his response video that we will get to momentarily, he started taking shots through retweets that presumably were targeted at General and Nuda, as if the community was on his side. And that's because they were. The comments, tweets, and many response videos that have since been lost to time, I wonder why that, they mostly sided with Kiwiz and relentlessly bashed Jerica. I honestly see this as like a black spot in the commentary community history, and it's really a product of the time. I'm sure public perception around an issue this serious would see a lot less victim blaming in 2021, but maybe I'm being charitable. A poll that's still available that was made by a fake Jerica account back in 2016 showed just how many people were taking Kiwi's side. But there were also a few people who took issue with it. Wait, am I allowed to show these? Hold on, let me call Big B. Hey man, I'm making a Kiwiz video. Can I use your clips?
So you're asking if you can steal my video?
Actually, no. I'm stealing a Brad Does Banter video.
And nobody cares!
On March 28th, 2016, Kiwiz released the video My Story, not to be confused with Slazo's My Side. That was actually a good video.
Hey look, it's Jaden. And I Nabber.
This contains tons of victim blaming, victim cards, and in my opinion, I think Kiwiz weaponized his audience to target the minor he exchanged pictures with.
I just want to say thank you to all the people that support me. I've recently talked to a ton of Call of Duty YouTubers that are in my community. They're really high up, and they respect me. They understand my side, and they truly believe I didn't do anything wrong. And I'm so thankful that people are actually understanding this, and they're not being so close-minded into automatic.
I think we should just arrest all Call of Duty players, and then we won't have this problem anymore, right?
Thinking that I'm some kind of because this girl lied about her age and convinced me to send her pictures of myself.
Dude, this is him talking? I thought this was somebody else. I thought, what? Wait, so the Call of Duty community respects you, which means that the Call of Duty community needs to go away. They need to be non-existent. But I just don't get this narrative of like she convinced me. Like, what do you just? How pathetic do you have to be for a child to convince you of something like this? It doesn't make any sense.
Like, she sent pictures to me too, but it was a group effort. You know what I mean? Like, it wasn't just like there was no harassment.
Who else was there? What group was there?
It was all consent, and I know that she's younger, and it's.
Well, I don't know that she can really consent. The word willingful, I guess, would be a better word.
But you're a teenager, dude. Like, so many people in high school make this mistake, and I see so many people on Twitter.
But you did it at 19, so you're not in high school anymore.
Get exposed for this.
Like, even if we forgave the 17-year-old shit, like, what about when you're 19?
And it
5 years later, this video has only 2.4k dislikes and 22,000 likes. The comment section is still mostly positive, despite what we're building to later in this video. I cannot for the life of me understand how someone was able to get away with this.
She lied about her age. She said she was 14. She was probably 13.
You don't have evidence of this? Or
Wait, hold on.
To get away with this.
She lied about her age. She said she was 14. She was probably 13.
You don't have evidence of this, or do you? Or just any evidence, messages, or anything like that?
I know she lied, and I was on a call with her, and she admitted that she lied. I might.
This makes it even worse. Do you see how this is what we're talking about? When people talk themselves into a hole. Listen to what he said.
She said she was 14. She was probably 13.
You don't have evidence of this, or do you? Or just any evidence, messages, or anything like
that? I know she lied, and I was on a call with her, and she admitted that she lied.
What did he say earlier? He said that on Kick, there was definitive proof that she lied about her age. But now, all of a sudden, that definitive proof isn't a factor anymore. So why don't you have that definitive proof? You said that they existed, so why don't you have that anymore?
I might have some recordings of it. I might not. I'm thinking about if I want to put it out or not. I don't know. It's a whole fuck situation. But
you might have them. You might not. What does that mean? What do you? So how? I don't. It sounds like you don't have anything. Am I wrong? Is there magical shit that exists that I just don't know about? It sounds like he's full of shit.
The bottom line is she lied about her age, and that's how it is. She lied, and I know it's.
Well, that's not a bottom line. You have to prove that.
Still kind of weird because it's a three to 4 year age difference. Like, but you need to understand.
Oh, it would be a 4-year age difference. Thank you very much. 3 to 4 year. He's trying to downplay as much as possible.
Dude, like, I'm just a fucking teenager. I made a mistake. Like if you're thinking about sending nudes out there, like anybody, like no matter what age, like over the internet.
Just to make this point concrete, Jerica could very well have lied about her age. If she said that she was 14 and they exchanged nudes again.
It's possible that she did, but he said that he had definitive proof, and now all of a sudden he doesn't have definitive proof anymore. So it hurts his story more and more.
And when she was 15 or 16, her lied age is still illegal. He's still 19.
The girl is 14 now, and Kiwi is 19. Now, Kiwi keeps saying, but she lied about her age, but she lied about being 2 years older, meaning her lied age is 16. Kiwi is still 19. But she lied about her age. It doesn't matter. Her lied age is illegal.
Okay.
Well, okay. With that point, like, I'm not. Listen, I don't think that 16-year-olds and 19-year-olds should be engaging, but there are Romeo and Juliet laws that protect it. So while I think it's disgusting, you would generally say from the perspective of the law that it's okay. You understand? I don't mean it's like okay, but we go like, oh, it's not. It's something that's defensible. We would make the reasonable assumption that people, if the law was different, people wouldn't break that law. So if we would make we would make the reasonable assumption. This is why we live in a society of due process where you're innocent until proven guilty. But that, to me, isn't even a relevant factor. He's talking himself into a hole. So I just don't believe him.
So the girl is 14 now, and Kiwiz is 19. Now, Kiwi keeps saying, but she lied about her age. But she lied about being 2 years older, meaning her lied age is 16. Kiwiz is still 19, but she lied about her age. It doesn't matter. Her lied age is illegal.
Yeah, I don't. This particular narrative isn't something that I would focus on because I don't think it's particular like a good narrative. I don't think that it's the best narrative. I don't think that it's the crushing blow that we think that it is. It's more a bigger crushing blow is that he may have actually known the age.
How stupid are you, f***ing spinner?
If he knew that she was 12, that's bad. If he thought she was 13, that's bad. If he thought she was 14, that's bad. If he thought she was 15, that's bad. If he thought she was 16, that's still bad. There's no way to salvage this. It doesn't actually matter if she lied about her age.
There was 4 people in that call that were against me. Keemstar was on the fence. You had Nuda, General, the daughter, and the mom. Obviously, I'm literally pinned in a corner, and
oh, now he's the victim. Everybody dogpiled. Everybody was against him. These narratives are pathetic.
And I was super nervous. I was literally having like an anxiety attack before going into that call. Like,
now he takes the opportunity to villainize Nuda.
And a lot of you are like wondering why Nuda would do this, why he would get this girl.
He was also weaponizing mental health. He's like, I was having an anxiety attack. That's him trying to, like, he's just trying to make you feel bad for him.
To go on Drama Alert, like,
well, it's because you're a Call of Duty YouTuber with a young audience, and you sent pictures to a minor. That's why he did it.
Honestly, I don't know why he would do this. I don't know. I just gotta say, ever since I left the fellas, Nuda has just not liked me. I'm friends with Tensor right now. I'm okay with Crude, but Nuda...
Maybe he thinks you're gross. Does anybody blame him?
We just haven't spoken in a long time. People would always tell me what Nuda would say behind the scenes. He would always get mad that I'm doing somewhat well on YouTube.
No, it's definitely because...
Why? Because you're gross.
Because you exchanged pictures with a child.
He would make fun of me for possibly getting into phase. He was really upset about the Red House. I don't know. I don't know what it is. And Nuda, if you're watching this, dude, I don't know why we just can't be friends.
Well,
Nuda probably thinks that it would be an aspect of rape culture to be your friend. Being a friend with somebody who's a creep, right? That's probably why. Nuda sounds like a nice guy. I don't know.
Say it's actually because you exchanged pictures with a minor.
And she said, there's nothing to worry about. Like, you don't have to worry about anything. That I can trust her, that nothing like this would ever happen, and here we are. It's insane to me. And honestly, I don't know what to think. Now remind yourself I sent this.
This 12-year-old sounds like a horrible person. Like, what? Is that what you want me to think? Like, I don't understand why he reinforces this narrative constantly. I don't really get it. What the fuck? This is ridiculous.
When I was 17. I stopped talking to her after that. I felt bad. Like, I didn't want this. Like, I didn't want that.
But I kept her on my Snapchat. Well, I added her on... I said this was on Kick, but then I added her on Snapchat after this interaction. And then I just didn't talk to her, even though she tried to talk to me every day. And then, yeah, okay. Yeah, okay. Okay. That makes perfect sense. Oh, I did this on Kick, and then I never talked to her again. But I did add her on Snapchat afterwards. But I didn't talk to her, even though she messaged me every day. And usually people only message people every day if they reciprocate. But what?
Like, it's not, I didn't feel comfortable doing it. We did it once.
It was a month ago.
Yeah, and a month ago on Snapchat. I didn't feel comfortable doing it. We did it once, and that was that. I was a teenager. I made a mistake. I'm sure there's tons of you out there that have done this before. And I know, like, it looks bad.
Within hours of this video being released, Kiwiz would receive his first repercussion of his actions. The famous hacking group Lizard Squad, who famously took down the...
Jordy is my daddy. I love sending him nudes and sucking him dry at gaming events. What the fuck?
Entire PlayStation network in 2014 decided to hack his Kick account and blackmailed him into sending these funny tweets. On top of all of this, Kiwiz had the audacity to upload a thank you video on the 31st of March.
Wait, how did they get him to do this?
Into sending these funny tweets. He took down the entire PlayStation network in 2014, decided to hack his Kick account and blackmailed him into sending these funny tweets.
How? What did they use to blackmail him? That's a question. What did they use to blackmail this guy? Because that's, you know, maybe it was just his dick pic. Maybe it was other allegations. We don't really know. It's all speculative. But what did they use to blackmail him? I think that's a very important question.
On top of all of this, Kiwiz had the audacity to upload a thank you video on the 31st of March. Unbelievable.
So I want to say thank you to everybody that supported me and understood my side, and all the big YouTubers once again.
I feel like these guys, like Keemstar and this other guy, they're just missing the mark on some of these, like, details. Like, they got him to send funny tweets. And it's like, okay, what did they use to send him, though? What did the thing? What was the blackmail that they used? That's very important. And they're just, like, missing these things. They're missing these things, and I get it. But like, they're just missing these big things. They said they hacked his Kick. Right. What does that mean, though? What's on his Kick that's so bad? What does it mean? They hacked his Kick, so what did they have? I think that, like, what is it that they could have? Right, because when you sign in out of your Kick, you lose your messages. Is that what happens? Okay. So, what did they have? His whole entire Kick account? Why? Why would that be blackmail to have someone's Kick account? Why not just delete the account or something? Or what is on there that's so bad? This is what I'm trying to ask. This is the point of what I'm trying to say. Like, does he have a bunch of other people on there? Is that what it was? I'm just speculating. I could be wrong. I'm just saying. It seems like there's more here.
And all my real friends, I've had so many great people in my life that have helped me with my issues, and I just want to say thank you to those people. Tensor, Formula, Rave, Gilly, even some IRL friends. They
feel there for those people.
They've reached out, and I just want to say thank you. It means the world to me. And if I missed a name, I mean, I've probably missed a couple names, but, you know, seriously, it means the world to me.
These people helped me so much through my darkest times. I don't remember all their names, though, but they're such... It's like, you can't even get the apology correct. Or the thank yous correct. I don't understand. They were so impactful, but I forget their names. What? You're a fucking idiot.
Besides that, this situation just kind of ended with him crying harassment on Twitter, well, until someone went to his house.
What is up, Drummer Nation? One of their fans, well, I guess he's not really a fan, ended up going to the house to confront Kiwiz about this. Roll it.
Red Kiwiz,
Oh, hey,
DJ
Yeah, what's up?
life, the man with the big shorts.
Yeah, what's up, dude?
I wanted to ask you a question.
Okay.
Why did you that girl?
Oh, do you think you're funny?
Yes.
That is not funny at all, dude.
You gotta leave it.
It's kind of funny. I'm sorry for laughing, but it was kind of funny.
You gotta get out.
Why did you do it?
You gotta get out.
Why did I do you even know the story?
Come on,
Yeah, I know the whole story.
Get out.
Why did you do it? Why did you do it? You sent your online to a girl that was 14 years old. That was 14 years old.
Do you realize it? Do you not understand that she completely lied about her age?
I disavow. But if we fast forward to today, one would assume this person who was caught red-handed exchanging pictures with a minor as an adult, blamed the victim, used depression as a shield, and went about his responses in the most unapologetic way imaginable, would have had some form of consequences. Honestly, I'd love to tell you that he was promptly dropped from Red Reserve, no team picked him up, his numbers dropped dramatically, and he faded into irrelevancy. But that didn't happen, and Kiwiz knew it wouldn't happen the night he dropped his response. In fact, 2 years later in 2018, Kiwiz would go on to leave Red Reserve on his own terms and signed a contract with Obey. Following a short stint with that organization, he was picked up by Lumosity Gaming in 2019, and then he actually took Keemstar's advice in 2020 and just started his own team 1%.
And now for the trophies, which is really cool. We got my 1 million plaque, and then we got the 100K plaque. This is like the OG 100K plaque. This is way back. As you guys can see, my view is very, very nice. We have the whole entire golf course right here, and we actually have the view of the pool. I can see Random's room, his balcony over there, and I can actually see the very top of the roof, which you guys will see later on in the video.
Look, you can see from here, he could also see this 13-year-old's bedroom from here. If he has like a nice telescope, he could just see that person's thing there. So, really nice house. He must love it a lot.
And that part's insane, but
Kiwiz got caught exchanging pictures with a 14-year-old when he was a legal adult, and somehow his channel ballooned to nearly 3.5 million subscribers, and he moved into a multi-million-dollar mansion. If that sounds unreal to you, yeah, it is. I'm actually really confused, especially when someone who failed upward this hard grew into making clickbait Fortnite content for actual kids now.
Yeetus McBobbis McPoopus. That right there, ladies and gentlemen, was literally the craziest curse of bad luck I think I've ever said. You guys have about 15 seconds to drop a like on this video and subscribe to my channel, and it'll all be reversed. This is your only chance.
Shortly after the news broke that Kiwiz was verified on Twitter, this story would once again come to a head as many members of the community started to make videos with the goal of educating Kiwiz's new young audience on his past controversy. Keemstar himself even uploaded a video that I'm sure you've never seen before because it was uploaded to Storyfire, which basically means you've never seen it before. Eventually, Kiwiz had to issue a Twitter notepad response where he hones in on the fact that this was nearly 5 years ago, as if that's like the statute of limitations for the court of public opinion. He claims the situation has been resolved, which it absolutely hasn't, because he still has a large platform making Fortnite content. Kiwiz claims that he's matured a lot, which it absolutely hasn't, because he still has a large platform making Fortnite content.
I will not try to justify, validate, or invalidate anything.
Kiwiz claims that he's matured a lot over the years, but immediately shifts to the victim. He still has a large platform making Fortnite content. Kiwiz claims that he's...
The situation has caused me to mature and learn so much over the years, and I believe I've become a much better person. Since then, I have done everything in my being to become better and move on. I have developed a life for myself where I am very happy and grateful for the people around me. Without the support of my loving girlfriend, my parents, my friends, I don't know.
Matured a lot over the years, but immediately shifts to the victim.
I also want to address something else that has weighed over me over the past years. There's been a group in COD, trick-shotting communities that I grew up with that continues to harass my family. They dox my number, my friend's number, and I don't care about that. Okay, so here's one of the things fundamentally that bothers me a lot about content creators who fuck up. Everybody fucks up. Like, all of us fuck up. Especially when we're younger, right? The problem, though, is that his initial response wasn't taking accountability, and it wasn't a good response. And it bothers me a lot when people will make really shitty responses, and then they'll say, well, it's been so many years, so let it go. But that doesn't make any sense, right? Like, let's say you sexually harassed two people online like 2 years ago, and your response was, oh, well, I'm sorry, but one of them just wasn't mentally able to even engage in the conversation, and I was just pushing through known boundaries, and society doesn't teach men proper boundaries, right? Now, that's a horrible response, especially since in this scenario, this hypothetical, you're also somebody that's very ingrained in women's issues, so you don't get to use the society has created men to be shitty argument. And let's say 2 years later, somebody says like, hey, this is disgusting. What is this? And you go, well, it was 2 years ago. Leave me alone. That's not a good response, right? Same thing. Like, let's say somebody was a neo-Nazi 2 years ago. They're like, yeah, I don't like Jewish people. And then 2 years later, that's the last time you met them. 2 years later, you meet them again. You're like, hey, are you still a neo-Nazi? And they're like, why would you ask me that? It's been 2 years. Like, well, the defensiveness and the fact that you won't just say like, yeah, I'm sorry, I fucked up, means that you're probably still guilty of the thing that people were claiming of you. The time that passes doesn't leave it, because you could still be that person. So unless you apologize for being that person, there's nothing there.
Card about how he's received tons of harassment over the years for all the things that he did. Then he pulls the mental health card saying he got PTSD from all the harassment and threats he received.
It's kind of funny. I know, I'm sorry for laughing at that, but it's kind of funny.
Because he exchanged pictures with a minor. He ends it off by highlighting that there have been no similar
I just feel like
threats he received because he exchanged pictures with a minor. He ends it off by
thank you for all privately messaged me, reached out to me, or checked on me. I will not forget that I was looking to be a better person, becoming a going to do this.
highlighting that there have been no.
If you feel I've disappointed you from the situation, then I'm very sorry. I hope that you find comfort in knowing that this was near 5 years ago when it was first made public, and there has been no issues since. I wake up every day, make sure I never make a mistake like this again. I will continue to work towards moving.
No similar controversies, and I'll give him credit for that, because he hasn't done anything like this in the last 5 years. But he also follows that up by saying, I wake up every day and make sure I never make a mistake like that again.
How hard is it to not text children? What the fuck? I don't understand. Is that what he's saying?
Look, maybe I'm reading into this too far, and I'm just the average guy making this average video on the Drama Alert YouTube channel, but I think I speak for most of you when I say that normal people don't have to wake up every morning and make sure they don't exchange nudes with minors. For most people, this is an unconscious process, similar to breathing, where someone doesn't have to—
Well, I mean, his defense, maybe he's going to therapy for being a pedophile. And he's getting the help he needs. That's really probably might be his best argument. It's like, yeah, I actually am. Because that's considered a mental illness as being a pedophile. So maybe he has that mental illness and he's genuinely trying to work through it. I doubt that that's true. He probably was just, honestly, he was probably just saying something because he thought it sounded nice. But, you know, if he did say, hey, I'm in therapy for being that, I would say, okay, you know what, I'll because it's one of those things where there's a difference between being a predator or pedophile and being a child molester, right? Those are two different things. Once you cross the boundary and touch children and harm them, you could go right to the island. That's the best that I could say, because we're on YouTube. But nobody chooses to be attracted to young people. So if you're actually getting help for that, I'd say, okay, I think you're gross still, but at least that's holding yourself accountable. But I very highly doubt that he's doing that thing. Honestly, I think that he just said that because you don't like this take. I don't know what I'm sorry. I don't know what to tell you. Well, you don't like, what's the take that you don't like? You don't like the take that nobody chooses to be attracted to children, and if they get help before they harm a child, then we can use our resources to help them. Is that a bad take to you, to try to help people? I don't really understand. I know that it's not a palatable take, but this is the reality of mental health and mental illness. I just feel like a lot of you guys aren't super, like, this is just the reality of the world. I just feel like this is like, I'm not here to make you guys comfortable. I'm here to say things that I feel are true. Again, if you're somebody that's attracted to a child and you haven't hurt a child, I think that we could use our robust mental health support system to help them before they harm a child. Right? So that's my whole point.
Actively address this type of thing mentally. I'm sure he just said this because someone told him it sounded good, but Jesus, yeah, that's so tone deaf. Naturally, this notepad apology, which was more of a deflection than an apology, created quite the discussion on Twitter. Some larger creators stepped in to actually defend him, while other guys like Kavos were on the right side of history. The Kiwiz channel started to bleed subscribers at a slow rate, and as a result, he issued a second damage control statement.
I guess after the recent events, seeing what's transpired online, I personally just decided to separate from the 1% I don't want what's happened to go with.
He was evicted from his house. Well, not actually, because Kiwiz left of his own accord yet again, which in reality means next to nothing, and in a few weeks he was just back to making more content.
Okay, let me get this straight. All right, Kiwiz messing around with a 12-year-old many years ago. That gets brought back up again, and Kiwiz decides to leave his esport organization, which he owns. He's leaving the esport organization which he owns. Really? Everybody on the team joined the esport organization that Kiwi owns, knowing that he messed around with a 12-year-old. All of his friends, literally everyone. So how does this save the team? How does this help the team? They all knew. This is some new information.
Did they all know? I feel like we shouldn't be so quick to rope everybody in that's associating with this guy into this scenario. That's the only thing I would say.
None of it makes any sense. And he owns the team. He still owns. How do you leave something that you own? You don't. Now he's just like a secret owner, a secret investor. Like, wait, what? This means nothing. Literally nothing.
After Kiwiz confessed to exchanging pictures with a minor, people defended him. After Kiwiz attacked the minor on his channel, people defended him. After Kiwiz bashed the person who defended the minor, people defended him. After Kiwiz claimed he matured and pulled the mental health card yet again, people defended him. Even after Kiwiz left 1%, people still defended him. And hell, after this video, I'm sure my Twitter feed's gonna be flooded with it.
This is the problem that I have with Kiwiz, all right? Kiwiz has child fans. He has 3.5 million subscribers on YouTube. They're all kids, and they don't understand that what Kiwiz did was wrong. It's all love. You see all these kids just being like, bro, what? Oh, good luck, man. Good luck. I'm heartbroken over this. And I see some people calling them defenders. They're not defenders. They're literally kids. They don't understand the difference between right and wrong in this situation. They're kids. And this is the problem. This is why in 2016, when this story first happened, that Kiwiz got away with it. He had a kid fan base, but it was in the Call of Duty space. The internet and the community never should have allowed him in the Fortnite space because of this, all right? So I don't know what the community does about this. He's gonna constantly have these kids being like, he did nothing wrong, leave Kiwiz alone. They don't know any better. But I don't know, community. What are we gonna do about this? Because he's gonna get away with it again. He has child fans that don't even understand what he did is wrong. They don't get it.
But after all of that, what did we learn? Well, besides the fact that Kiwiz is probably the luckiest influencer alive, who presumably managed to evade not only legal trouble, but a damaged career and the wrath of the court of public opinion, we learned that anyone can be successful regardless of how severe their cancellation is, as long as they continue to upload and make new fans. It's as simple as that. It really doesn't matter.
Well, it's interesting because I think half of a person's cancellation is their own interpretation of it. So usually somebody will get canceled for doing a bad thing by like the internet. And then they themselves will feel stressed and pressured by that cancellation and go, oh, maybe I shouldn't make content or, you know, X, Y, or Z. What this just shows to me is that this guy didn't feel his personal cancellation. He's like, I did a bad thing, but I don't care. And I'm going to keep making content. That's kind of how it seems like he was more interested in the way he was being attacked. That was what his focus, rather than what he did wrong.
No matter how much of a degenerate you are, if you put your head down and just spam out garbage Fortnite videos to your feed. It's why YouTubers who are objectively bad continue to survive, and it's why the only real way to get canceled is to leave on your own accord. This is one of the most legendary moments in Drama Alert history. My name's Nicholas Diorio, and this is the story of Kiwiz, the one who got away.
I wouldn't doubt if this girl was talking to 10 guys at once. I wouldn't doubt if she sent news to 10 guys, and I wouldn't doubt if these 10...
So do you think that this story is a lot bigger than it really is?
Yes.
Like, just singling you out would be considered wrong?
Should have played this sooner. This is horrible.
The story of Kiwiz, the one who got away.
I wouldn't doubt if this girl was talking to 10 guys at once. I wouldn't doubt if she sent news to 10 guys, and I wouldn't doubt if these 10...
So do you think that this story is...
His argument is like, well, she's a whore, so who cares? I can like the what's the implication here? That it's okay to abuse children as long as they like they like guys? I don't. What are we saying here? Like this girl, well, I know she was underage and she can't consent, but she was doing it with a lot of other guys. Like, I'm mind blown by that argument.
Is a lot bigger than it really is. Like, just singling you out would be considered wrong.
Singling me, I honestly think, I mean, obviously, I owned up to my mistakes. She lied about her.
No, you didn't. Oh my god.
Her age, number one. I don't know if I should say this, but she specifically talked to a certain person saying that they wanted them to go to a house, make out with a boy, and send her the videos. Like, she literally said she is insane. I want you.
Oh, okay. So now, yeah, that's the narrative, is that she's I'm tired of saying the word that I keep saying. She's somebody with lowered inhibitions or something. So it's all her fault. I don't understand. She's just a crazy hoe. Yeah, right. That's all it is. She's just a crazy hoe. So
guys, to understand, you know what I mean? Like, it's
okay. So now, Kiwiz, I still think what you did was messed up. And
dude, anybody, yeah, okay. From the outside looking in, anybody could say it's messed up.
I still think from the inside, you would still say it was messed up.
Okay. Well, that was a very interesting video from Keemstar. I will say that I don't know if I've ever been on Keemstar's side before. So first and foremost, let me just say one thing. Okay, this guy is disgusting. However, not even however. I have a question though. Like, what was the motivation for making that? Only because it should have been made regardless, but I don't know. It's a common Trisha Paytas tactic to when she's in a lot of pressure to deflect onto other people and be like, look, that person's worse than me. And I think Keemstar is also under a lot of pressure and getting a lot of heat for being a bad person. So is his motivation to like go, oh, but look at Kiwiz, so I must be good by comparison? That kind of feels like what it is. Either way, this video needed to be made, and I'm really happy that it was made. I'm happy that this was like a thing being pushed out there. I just do also question I do question like the reasoning for making it. Like I said, either way, even if his reasoning was to deflect to somebody else, it's still necessary and needed to be made because this is obviously incredibly disturbing. But I don't think that's an unreasonable thing to think. So